Executive of ExxonMobil testified to a committee in the House of Representatives that the price of oil is not a reflection of market fundamentals, namely supply and demand, that in fact his testimony under oath was that if you just look at the market fundamentals, the price should be $50 or $55 a barrel. Other testimony and investigation has proved that at least $20 can't be explained by any kind of risk analysis. So why don't we investigate them? Why don't we close the so-called Enron loophole? Why don't we get back to regulating them so they are not the tail wagging the American dog and making the costs go up and up and up? And I'll tell you, we're also going to quit putting oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve and release some, which will help to put downward pressure on prices. We're going to go after OPEC, which, remember, is a monopoly cartel. There's nothing free market about it. They sit in some conference room a couple of times a year, decide how much oil they're going to produce and how much they're going to charge for it. So let's change our laws so we can sue them on antitrust reasons and go to the World Trade Organization with them. And then let's try to provide some real-time relief for all of you. I want the oil companies, out of their excess profits, to pay the gas tax this summer instead of having you pay it. This is a big difference in this campaign. You know, Senator McCain wants to have a gas tax holiday, but he doesn't want to pay for it. Well, we've been down that road. We cannot increase the deficit. We cannot take money out of the Highway Trust Fund. That would be a mistake. Senator Obama wants you to pay the gas tax this summer instead of trying to get it so the oil companies pay it out of their record profits. So I believe that we should start standing up for the vast majority of Americans who are paying these outrageous gas prices. It's affecting your incomes and your budgets. You know, according to the Department of Energy, the average American would save about $70 this summer. Now, maybe for some people that's not much money, just pocket change. For a lot of the people I talk to who are counting every single penny because gas is up, groceries are up, health care is up, they're threatened with home foreclosures, some of them, everything is going up. And for truck drivers would save $2 billion this summer. That's $2 billion that wouldn't go into the base of our food costs. So I'm ready to take on the oil companies. I voted against them in 2005 for Dick Cheney's oil bill. But this is part of a larger difference between my opponent and me. I've been saying for over a year, we need to take on the Wall Street bankers and the mortgage companies that misled so many people into these subprime mortgages, putting so many of their homes at risk. You know, it is tragic because I meet these folks, and most of them are really hardworking people. Some of them are their first homes that they ever bought. They were misled. They were given inflated appraisals that were not reflective of the true cost of the house, but boosted the commission that went to the broker. They are given hundreds of pages of fine print. The saddest stories I hear are from people who are so excited about having their first home that they decide they want to try to pay their mortgage off early. So they stick in a little extra every time they send in the mortgage, not knowing that buried in all that fine print is what's called a prepayment penalty, which triggers a higher interest rate. So here are folks really trying to do the right thing who find themselves out on the street. So I've been saying for over a year, crack down on this, freeze these home foreclosures, give people a chance to stay in their homes, because some of them can pay what they're paying now. They just can't pay it when it goes up. We have 2 million households that are possibly going to be evicted this coming year. Freeze these interest rates, freeze these home foreclosures. Senator Obama disagrees. I believe that part of the job of a president is not just for long-term planning, which I am 100% in favor of, but living in the here and now to try to make it clear to the American families, middle-class people, hard-working folks, that somebody hears you and somebody sees you and somebody knows what's going on right here in High Point, North Carolina. Now, I can't do any of this without your help tomorrow. This has been an exciting campaign. across North Carolina. We have had the best time. We have eaten barbecue from one end of this state to the other. You know, for a while I was a little worried because every sighting of my husband was going into or coming out of a barbecue joint. And I said, oh, I hope his cardiologist doesn't read that. But then I kind of got in the swing of it, too. And the only question I will not answer in this campaign is which is the best barbecue. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, but I'm not walking into that one. But tomorrow is a historic decision for all of us because we got to get it right. And we got to make sure that we are prepared to face the challenges and seize the opportunities that America confronts. I am confident and optimistic. People ask me all the time, you know, this is going to be so hard. I say, yes, it is. It's going to be especially hard following President Bush and Vice President Cheney. It's always the hardest job, but we're going to have a lot of repair work to do. We're going to have a lot of cleaning to do. We're going to have to really understand what it takes to make our country move forward with the kind of positive view of the future that is part of the American birthright. But we can do this. And when I say we, I mean all of us. You know, I'm going to fight for a clean, renewable energy plan for America, but I'm going to ask you to be more energy efficient. Turn off those lights when you leave a room. You know, use those compact fluorescent bulbs. You know, think about what each of us in our daily lives can do to cut down our expenditure on fossil-based fuels, especially those that are so bad for the environment. And I'm going to ask you, when it comes to health care, yes, I'm going to move toward a universal health care system. Nobody will be left out. Not a single person. You know, that's another big difference between me and Senator Obama. He leaves about 15 million people out. That will never work. If you leave that many people out, the insurance companies will still be in charge. The emergency rooms will still be taking care of people who have nowhere else to go. Everybody needs to be in it, but also everybody needs to take better care of themselves. Look, that's something we all have to do. You know, all kidding aside, especially for our kids. Because you go and talk to any doctor, they'll tell you they're seeing children, I mean 10, 11, 12-year-old children being diagnosed with type 2 adult onset diabetes. They're not eating right, they're not moving. That's a terrible sentence to inflict on a child. So we got work to do. And when it comes to education, you can be the governor and have preschool programs. I can get rid of No Child Left Behind. We can make college affordable. But families have to help their kids understand that school is your work. You got to do your part to learn what you must learn to be successful in today's economy. So I am asking for your help tomorrow. I believe that we have everything at stake in this election. I am running because I think with all my heart that I am best prepared to be the president, and I am the stronger candidate to take on John McCain in the fall.